Happy Wednesday!
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Welcome.
everyone. Welcome to the workshop. It's Wednesday.
Woo!
What's up, Mr. Square Peg? Emerald Sundisk in. Indeed. Sup, Linker?
I also got chat in
Low
front of
Road
me too.
2. Sup?
Is
Waterfox,
everything?
yes.
Is everything coming out clearly, you guys? Can you hear us all right? Is it all good?
Is audio good?
Yeah, we actually do have plushies of us all, yes.
Cool. Nice. Thank you, Sepkin.
There we go.
Here, I also gotta
Marketable
set
plushies.
myself to busy so I'm not getting notifications. There we go.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me to do that.
Get my chair out of the way. There we go.
But yeah, while we get you guys in here, we are going to be going over context menus today, like avatar control stuff, so you can toggle stuff on and off of your avatar. And we'll also be going into injection as well, on how to actually add context menus to your world, so you can have world settings and lots of cool stuff like that as well.
And other objects like dynamic variables and like say HUDs or, well, locomotions as well.
Yeah. As I say, we'll be starting off first with the basics, which is how to create the context menu, where to find them in the components, and how to deal with setting up very basic systems.
Yep.
And this little item will be in our examples folder, in wherever it is located. I think it's in Essential Tools, isn't it? Or Neos Essentials, is it?
The Essentials folder.
Yeah, Neos Essentials, Examples, and you have a folder called Workshop Wednesday. Only the box in there at the moment. More stuff needs to be put in there.
Yeah.
I'm very
And
excited
good
for this
evening.
workshop because there's a lot of people who want to learn how to use more stuff with their context menu and add either through their character or even on items or even in the world itself. So
I'm just glad we actually have official ways now to do context menus, because the old way where people were doing arc injection and stuff, that was really jank.
yeah.
So
Okay, there we go.
yeah, it is powerful stuff. You're right, Emerald. It is. Hey, Seeker, how you doing, dude? And Projectivity.io. I like that name. That name's cool.
But yes,
So yeah, we'll
hello
get
to everyone. Welcome.
So we'll go get started in a moment.
Yep.
Sound good?
So, yeah.
Cool.
I think everybody's all set.
Right.
And
So
I
we're gonna
did spin
go-
this up.
Right, well, as I say, we'll get started with the basics first, just showing people how to add them. So we'll start with the avatar, and then we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome. Right, let's go. Whee!
Good luck, you guys.
Yeah. Okay, so first thing I'm going to want to do anyways, I'm going to need a dev tip for this.
I'm going to grab myself one too.
Yep, and while you do that, I am just going to quickly load up my browser. Go to Twitch.
Gesundheit.
Bless you! Well, we can still say bless you next.
Hello,
Okay.
Mystic.
So if you can give me the camera for a moment next, that'd be great. Cool. Okay, so we're going to start off here with just the basics for now. So we've got my avatar here, and I'm going to add a context menu item to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my spec and go into the root of my avatar. Now, I've got this nice little section here called settings that I've pre-added. But what I'd advise is just to add your own little section here. So I'll go into my avatar settings, and I will create a new child by pressing the star here. And I'll select this, and I'm going to call this... My keyboard has gone missing. So I'm going to call this root menu. And within this root menu, I'm going to add a few components. And those are a root context menu item and a context menu item source to start with. So to do this, we'll go into attach components here, and we'll go into our Radiant UI. And under Radiant UI, you'll see context menu. Within context menu, you will see all the items here that are related to context menus. So we want our root context menu item. And then we want to do the same again. So we'll go into context menu. And we want a context menu item source. And this comes off with a default as my item. So what we want to do is we want to grab our context menu item source and drag this into here. So now we've got this set as our context menu. So when I grab this avatar now, you can see that I've now got this new my item box. But doesn't do anything, does it? Oh, there is chill music in the background, Seeker. It might just need turning up a bit. People are saying they can't hear the chill music in the background, Eggy, so we might have to turn it up a bit. So, now we've got our menu item. This is our sub-menu. So I'm going to call this Avatar Control.
Is it good?
Yeah, it sounds good to me. If that's too loud on the stream, please let us know. So we called this Avatar Control. And what we can do here is we can actually set the colour to this. So as I adjust this, if you look, the box around my Avatar Control is changing colour. So we can set this to any colour we want. So I will have it as blue for now. So now we've got my blue sub-menu, but what do we do with it? Well, what we can do is we can start fleshing out a menu root. So if we attach another component here, which will be UI, context menu, and we want a context menu sub-menu, and on that sub-menu, we will actually set that to our root menu. So I've grabbed hold of that, and I'm going to drop that in here. Now, a really cool little thing you can do is when you're using your context menu, usually people can see what you're doing and where you are. But you can actually hide your context menu by ticking the hidden box here. You can also change the hierarchies and loads of other bits, but that's going into more advanced stuff there. So what we'll do is I'm going to create another item now under our root menu by pressing my star here. And now we're in our next item. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create another context menu item source. So we want our Radiant UI again, context menu, and we want a context menu item source again. And we're going to call this Poncho. And from there, we are going to add the context menu and start fleshing this out. So if I go into here now, into my avatar control, you can see I've got an option for a poncho. Doesn't do a lot right now. So what we can do is we can actually start setting this up to be even more useful with this. So first thing we want to do is we're going to add a checkbox, which is common UI, if I remember correctly. General, nope.
Interactions.
It's in interactions. Interactions. No, it's not. Where's checkbox? Can you remember?
Hold on,
I'm sure it's common UI.
Like a toggle switch?
Yeah.
So, from what I remember, whoops. Okay. Common UI, button interactions. So we got button toggle here.
We want
another thing. What?
Yeah, we can use button toggle, can't we? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll use button toggle.
And then you just find the target value you want it to do. You drag the bool, active bool, to there,
yeah.
For example.
So what we'll do is we'll go centered root node, poncho, and we'll bring our poncho out here. So what I'm going to do is grab our active state of my poncho and drop it in here on this. And now, when I go into avatar control, poncho. If you look, that removes my poncho. But how do I know that that's been removed? Because there's no information there. There's no feedback. So what we can do here is there's a really, really cool little thing in Common UI under I actually have to remember where this is now.
What is it called?
Reference Option Value Description Driver. And the other one, is Value Option Description Driver. So we want this Value Option Description Driver. So we're going to grab this. And what we want is we want it as a bool. So we put it in as a bool. I feel okay, we get some really cool little options now. So you've got a value here. This is the checked value.
Oh, it even has color.
Yes, it does. So what we do is we take the active state of my poncho and put that in there. So now we add another option here. So by default, it'll say, so we'll set that one to say off with a red color.
Let's add a little, there we go.
Get rid of I want to get rid of the alpha on it. So we'll do that. And then if I drive this label value here, drop it in here, and drive our color value, and then we'll have that one to say on. And we'll set that one to green. Hey, thanks for the tier 1 lemon, much appreciated. So now when I go into here, if you look, it changes color and text. So now it's an off option. Now it's an on option. So we're obviously going to want to change that to say poncho. So I'll put poncho. Poncho is on. And we can have it also say poncho is off. No, stupid text editor. Text editor's being a pain with me. It doesn't like me, Aegis. And then we can have it say poncho is off. So now, when I grab hold of my avatar, it tells me my poncho is on. Oh, your poncho is now off. And that's just one of the cool little interactions you can do. You can also have it swap in sprites. Another good one as well is, say I want this to go away once I toggle my poncho, for example. I can tick this, close menu on press. So now when I go avatar control, switch my poncho off, the control menu goes away straight away. But this is really, really handy, the value description driver. You can use it for a lot of different things.
Where is it located again? So it's
it is in Common UI.
UI.
Yep, and it's drivers. And it's the value option description driver.
And then of course on the very top of the list is bool.
Yep. But you can also, as you say, you can even do different sprites depending on the state. So what we'll do is we're going to grab this sprite, we'll drop sprite in there. Now on my own avatar, I have a sprite already. So what I will do is I'm going to grab my sprite out of here, which is the Neos logo. Hang on, it would help if I actually use the sprite provider, wouldn't it?
There you go.
So now, oh yeah, turn that. Now if you watch now, you can see how when I'm toggling it, I get a Neos logo that comes up on the actual context menu to show me. So you could have that change. Is there any cheat seeks, etc., of where to find these regular use components are hiding? The only real place you can really look for this kind of thing, Benken, is on our wiki, unfortunately. There's not really too much more information on it right now.
That's not true, though. We do have a component search tool inside of here.
An official one, though.
We don't have an official one, but you can still use that component search tool to make it a lot easier.
I know there's component search tools out there. But that's, this is the basics of how to get a simple avatar control system set up with some icons. And what we can do is we could just duplicate this a few times. And now we've got loads of options. Whoa! Oh, wow. And we can go from there. But yeah, I'll hand you over now to Aegis. He'll go over some of the other bits and pieces. So if you put the camera onto Aegis, that would be great.
Yep. So of course, like, you can have multiple different options. Say, for example, like locomotion, or like different toggles of clothing, or gadgets and such. But like, one thing that people have done is make world options. Say, for example, you have like a slider that has like a volume that would drive like the volume of music in the world, or a video player, or like graphical options that people make within the worlds for users.
Exactly. Now, like the ability to toggle music and audio that's on in the background is always a big one, especially if you got background music.
Yep. And the thing is, you would need to figure out a way to store those options onto a player as soon as they join.
Yes.
And this could also relate to, say, dynamic variables you want to put onto a user, as well as like locomotions, as mentioned before. Now, what I was shown and I learned about even today was that this exists already in a world. This it's called AutoInject. Now, if you look inside a world, you'll see this controller slot right here under the root when you open up the root of a world. It has, of course, your locomotion modules, and this was added on top right now. I'll show you why. But if you just select the controller slot there and find this common avatar builder component, you'll see there's a field right here called AutoInject. Now what that is like whenever you load into a world, that will get put under each individual user's root.
Yeah.
So say if you want to put like a, say like a menu or so onto a user, you would basically put like the hierarchy of the object and put it in there, and you would have like your menus available for people to use.
Well, what we could do is if we grab the context menu out of that, transfer that into our injection section right now, then.
We can even just take the whole object and just hide the visual.
Yeah, we could do that as well.
Yep, it's called the ContextSubmenu Template. So I'm gonna like select it, open it up, find the root of this object, and drag it into injections. Now this was just a random like object that we whoops, must have missed there. There we go. Yeah, this was just making a child object under controllers, and now I'm going to actually open up controllers again. Don't need that, and actually hide the temporary visual. So I'll disable that. And go back to controllers.
I would set it to our actual injections folder there, so then they've got an idea.
Yep. So you would take the injections, which is basically everything you want to put onto an avatar in a world, or a user in general, not necessarily their avatar. And you would place it there, and every time a user joins in a world, or when you click update locomotion modules on present users...
What I'll do is I'll respawn, because obviously we're on a headless, so it works a bit differently.
Okay, now, actually, there it is. So I put like a little sprite there of like, like a little submenu option, and then when you click it, it just opens up a button that really doesn't do anything yet, but it's an option. But yeah,
there. if we go into our inspector now, and what we'll do is we'll go into my user root here. We can see now that we've got this injection section, and we've even got the child that's there as well. So what it's done is it's literally copied all this hierarchy and put it into my avatar.
Mm-hmm.
which is extremely handy because
Yep.
you can attach variables in that way to another user.
And locomotions.
And locomotions, which, locomotions are always fun to add to people, though.
Yep, you can add it via this method, through the inspector, via logics as well, too. Hence why if you look in, for example, Sojourner Island, when you go inside the water, you have a new locomotion injected into you.
But this
Or
is
say
the
if you want to make a
easiest...
COG area, too, you can make something like that.
But yeah, through the, as we said, through that auto-inject, you can pretty much, do anything there. But because it's like now, if I go back into here now and go into spawn area, go back to me, go back to my injections, and switch that temp visual back on, that item is there.
Mm-hmm.
And that is attached to me now. I could actually bring that over to me. Where is it? There we go. That's now down here. Yeah,
Yep.
That's how you add an item to a user anyway, automatically. Could you inject the poncho system for everyone that joins the world so anyone could toggle it? I don't know if that'd work too well, to be honest with you.
Dynamic variable.
Do it with a dynamic variable or a value user override.
Yeah,
But a
if it was
dynamic variable is the best way.
Yeah, if a value user override it would be locally for you. Say if you turn it off for yourself, it would be only off for yourself and everybody else would have it on.
Yeah. But yeah, probably the best way to do these kinds of things is definitely go in with the dynamic variables method and just using the options that you've got available for that.
Yep. Actually, I've seen people do like scrolling options.
Yeah, that's logics, and that's going deep into logics and stuff.
Okay, I was just wondering if that can be like achieved with like components and such. But
Thanks for the follow.
that makes sense.
If you want to give everyone a bit of clash, you could inject it on their avatar. Yeah. Oh god, give everyone a poncho.
I think I'll
As I
add
say-
multiple buttons to this too.
Yeah. There is a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with context menus. You can go into, expanding them out, context menus within context menus, and everything else. PNGs are fine for sprites, yes.
Neosk auto-converts images into its own format.
Yep.
Or, format that it uses, which is WebP.
Yeah, all you want to do for sprites is, what you can do is, actually, do you show people how to do the sprites?
So, actually, we can...
An asset sprite provider.
Yeah, we can go into here.
Yeah.
While the camera gets put onto me, I can start by... So, whenever making... What I usually do, and this will be also kind of reiterated as well during, like, when we cover UIX, is I usually create a folder that will contain all the assets that will be within the menus.
Yeah, just make sure it's not a JPEG because you won't have transparency on it.
Yeah, when you import an image, it has to like have transparency if you want that cutout or like semi-transparent look to it. So
I'll actually get you a sprite, Aegis, while you're doing that.
Yep. So I will name this sprite test. All right. So now we can attach a component onto this object here. Now the first thing we can do is look on the top here under assets. Now when we click on there, there is a component here that says sprite provider. That is what we're going to need. So that's where you start off with, and it says there's a texture here that you can put in. So I could put in like a texture. I see you got some right here. Actually, this might be a good one. So I can take this and either use my laser, intersect it, and let go, or I can just hold it with one hand and click it with the other. but I like this one better.
That's a good one for a settings menu.
Yes, definitely. So, when it comes to... Let's go into this context menu root and find where the other sprite is. So we get this other sprite provider here. But I'm going to take the other sprite provider. Oh. I didn't know it works on those too.
Oh!
So, this also works with materials too. But if you grab a... Okay, let me do this again too. This is just something interesting about Neos too. If you have like a material or a mesh or so, you can take the object slot and drag it under. Say for example, I'm taking the sprite and putting it over here. It takes the first sprite it finds in that object and uses it.
Now you see, I didn't know that, you see.
It works well with materials, so...
Yeah, that's really smart. I did not know that, so even I've learned something.
Yeah, but keep in mind it only takes the first one it finds. If there's more than one, it might not work, so...
Yeah. Do you know, it's always the same, isn't it? Whenever we do workshops, one of us learns something.
Yeah.
Because I know you weren't too aware of that component I used, just...
Yeah, the one with the, I knew something like that existed, but I did not know exactly like where it is.
The value option description driver, yeah.
Hell, even Fruix said he, well, I mean, even though he, like, coded all this stuff, he doesn't remember, like, you know, everything off the top of his head.
Fruix was the one who told me about that, actually, when I was doing context menu work. A while back, he said, oh, why don't you use this? And he showed me, and I was like, oh my god, this does everything I need. Because I was about to try and do some logics stupidity to do it. And I was like, yeah, this just makes things a lot more simple.
And, like, to think about logics and stuff, like, if it's something that is, oh, we can see the sprite right here now.
Yeah.
Yep, so it's right there. Now, when it comes to setting up specific behaviors with that, say for example that slider that I was talking about, if it can't be done via components, then it doesn't really do any harm to do it in logics. And even if it's something like, you know, very simple, if it's done in logics, it wouldn't really hurt that much either. Because all in all, logics is just components.
Yeah, it's all the same, really. Logic is just components. Now, where are we, actually? Let me look for my regs. Because I do believe it might be this one.
Nope, that's the AutoInject.
No.
Oh, never mind.
It's not that one I'm after, actually. It might be one of my older ones. This one. There you go, that's what you're on about.
Yeah, I've seen people do that via, like, volume sliders and such, but they would, like, drive the UIX canvas or the thing. But I think that's something that we can cover on a more advanced scale.
Yeah, this is definitely something more advanced. It's, as I say, you know, just having that rotator there where, you know, you can change your size from that scale. That's a bit more of an advanced system. And it's just really cool. I tried to do this with a literal sprite. I'm not sure it's panned out as intended. Maybe I'll swing by later. That's fine, Emerald. Yeah, we will have the world open for people to come in, speak to us, and say, listen, how do I do this? How do I do that? Because that's the idea of the workshops. You know, is we are doing these bits afterwards for you guys. There's not really too much further else we can cover with this topic without going too much more advanced into everything, which is, you know, not what we're planning on doing right now. However, we might as well go back over to the desk now, take some questions, and unless there's anything to cover, I guess.
Not exactly right now, but like actually, there's.
What were you going to say? Go on.
Yes, there is one thing that actually could also be like another thing that relates to this and also UI in general to point out. When you open up the components and go to common UI and button interactions, I just remember this too. There's also button audio clip player as well.
Seeker, that's exactly what Aegis was just doing. Seeker just said, maybe show adding sounds when you toggle something. You were just doing that. How?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great minds.
Because it's a Boolean, so it's quite easy and simple. So you can have things that play a sound when you hover over it, like whenever you're like selecting through a menu, and you can hear like a little haptic like sounds when you hover over it, or when you like not hover over it. Same with when you press something, when you release something. Each one of these, for example, I'm going to add this, and okay, and you can put a clip on there, and you can change the min and max volume, min and max speed to add some variety, or audio, variety and such. And of course the usual audio settings you would find on like an audio clip player. And you can add as many of these as you want, and it can pick random from one of these, and you change the weight, which changes the more chances of it to use that audio clip. And a lot of this is very similar to what you would use with like random audio clip player and such too, so yeah.
I can't remember whether this is the sound I'm after. Nope, that's what's broken. Let me see what sounds I've got here. If I've got any sounds that'll be useful.
I think I can search one too if we want to demonstrate that too. Where's something that's nostalgic?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, that is something a bit more out of scope right now for the workshop. It's a bit more advanced. However, it is something that we would like to cover in the future.
Actually,
that one will do.
It's haptic. Common UI, button interactions, and button clip player. Rest. Actually, wait, there was one right next to it too that we can also use. Button press, button place, and button press. And what was the third one? Button grab.
Hello, Nightmare VR. Welcome to the stream. Seeker asks, is there a checkbox / ball that lets you toggle whether the sound plays local or for everyone as well?
In this component?
I think that... There we go.
Yeah, that does make sense to make it like local or global, I think.
There we go.
There is a thing to parent under. I'm trying to see. Another thing you can do is have it parent under a specific slot, so it's only coming off of you to change those options. But there's also probably ways to change the volume and max and min distance.
I'm just cleaning these other options out the way.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm not seeing anything to play it locally, though. One thing that would be good is, if you do want that kind of functionality, a good thing to do is, well, request it via GitHub.
Yeah, request it on the... Yeah, just request it via our GitHub. That's usually the best way.
Yep. That actually sounds good, because like if you want to flick around in your menus and have your own sounds, I know some people don't like sounds in their menus, but some people do.
Yeah, it was like when people were going around making those context menus with music on them.
Yep.
That was a thing. That was a thing for a while when this came out, and people found out they could edit your context menus. They were putting music on them.
I think that would be a good addition.
Yep.
So
Right, I think.
I have a question myself. Let's say if you
Okay.
were able to have just a singular made prefab, the whole system of a context menu could be made as prefab that's just attached onto somebody's character, correct, right?
Yes, that's why... Where did it go? There it is. That's why it can all be contained on a single object. It doesn't have to be made on like your avatar.
And you just attach the object to your character, then yeah?
Yes, actually, even holding it makes it so that you can actually use it. It's because technically it's under you. Every time you grab an object, it's parented under you. I grab this photo.
Yeah.
It's under my hand right now, or grabber.
This could have a really awesome game aspect that I don't see too much of what people use, to where you could actually use an item in a game. So let's say you grab something and you want to... let's say use like a health potion or something like that, and then you click it, and then use item, and then it like dissipates out.
Yeah.
Actually, I just thought of something too. Like you
That's
take
another example.
Ooh,
Actually, if I grab this now and drop it onto my tool shelf, which I managed to do just. I actually had it on my tool shelf before, but I could drop this on my tool shelf, and then that. There we go. Oh, I just had it then. Did you see it? Oh.
Well, it's just another way of like parenting an object under you. So that's pretty much what he's trying to say too. Is like as long as it's under the user.
Yeah. So I've got that on my tool shelf now, and now if you look, I've now got the button test on my avatar. Pull it
Another
off.
one I just thought of on the top of my head is if you have a tool, or say in this case a weapon too, have like multiple options, just like you would like in a glue tip or a logic tip. You got these extra menu options here. You can like change like type of extraction, or like get the node browser, or all these different options and such. So you can have those kinds of context menus added to like custom objects. For example, I kind of thought of too, like say a weapon, maybe you change the firing modes where you can have like 3-round burst, or fully automatic, or semi-automatic. So
Yeah. Nat Bard said, "I haven't played Context Clicker in a while. That game was quite noisy. Ha ha ha. One example of a cool thing people have done with these systems. Yeah, exactly. The context menu cookie clicker game. That was quite a cool little concept, and that was really interesting. It was, it was probably one of the cooler things I've seen done. But I have seen some really cool examples of context menus in Neos."
So. Do you think it's a good time to head back to the desk and we can answer questions and basically
Actually, I'll
see if
take
we can
this
cover
with me.
anything for you guys here inside of chat? If you want to have any questions for us about context menus or anything of what was discussed today, you can definitely ask away, and maybe even something that you would want to know about context menus, you can ask, and we'll give you this amount of time.
There is one thing I'm going to cover, which is going to be... We're changing the way the workshops are going to work, starting next week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, would you like to elaborate on that?
From Wednesday next week, our workshops are going to be weekly.
Oh wait,
they're going to be fortnightly.
You lagged right when you were talking.
Oh. The workshops are going to become bi-weekly, so they're not going to be every week. They're going to be every fortnight.
And someone just said that in the chat.
But, as I say, this is to allow us to prepare more and cover bigger subjects. And some of our... so it allows us... Because some of these workshops, with the more advanced stuff, we're going to need at least a week to prepare things and learn how to do some of this stuff ourselves. Yeah, it's so we can gather more. It was an idea that Aegis and Ryuvi came to me with today, actually. If you got any more details to add on that, Aegis?
Another thing too is that depending on how advanced these topics are, they could be multi-part as well. So depending on if it's like bi-weekly or so, maybe even if it's something that we have enough information or examples for, you can even do it 1 week after another and then take a break from that to get more information on that. So if it's something that takes more than one stream to cover, it can probably be depending on how it goes. So
we have a question right here from Laura says, would that mean they become more advanced and or longer then? So I'm thinking that you're talking about the stream time.
There is a possibility that if we are covering more advanced stuff, the stream could be, because we'd be doing it fortnightly, we could be doing it maybe an hour or even 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely won't exceed 2 hours as a rule.
Yeah. It'd be easier that way on people.
And that means then, we're short bursts. We don't want to do them too much and send too much information out at once, which gives people a chance to watch that part, get up to where we are, and then pick up the next week. So say we're covering something quite advanced in logics. It takes us 2 hours to do one stream, but we've only got halfway through it. There will then be a stream next Wednesday after that, going on to part 2. And then we take a break for a week, and then move on to another subject.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, once we finish the subject, we take a week's break. Then we move on to a new subject. Heck, we could even have 3 weeks in a row where we cover something. It could be 6 hours. Then we take a break.
Yep. And that doesn't mean we'll only be covering advanced topics. If there's any more ideas that people can put in the feedback form, that's also another thing too that we should mention, is that if you do want any ideas or suggestions on the streams and such, there is a public feedback form you can find in the Discord as well.
Yeah.
And the
it's
FAQ.
Under our welcome. No, it's under welcome and links.
Oh, thank you.
Woof, woof, woof. Yeah, Seeker. Some people do think, that it's still the same time as our normal stream, but it is on the schedule down below. So we have been running these streams at the same time now since November. So, and we've never changed the time. So it's going to be this time all the time. It's going to start an hour earlier than our normal streams. And that's because it's a midweek stream. And unfortunately, I can't be around too late because it's a weekday and I have, to get someone ready for school in the morning. Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Oh.
But, yeah. As I say, we are going to open the world up for a bit after we finish the stream. There is even a reminder button. Yeah, there is, you're right. Pondering the orb.
Yes.
So, but as I say, we absolutely love doing these streams. These workshop streams have been something I've really enjoyed doing over the past, 2 to 3 months now. And I've been learning a lot with Neos while we've been doing these, especially around Ryuvi and Aegis, our creation team. They're an absolute wealth of knowledge. Is there a Dragon Ball world? I don't think someone's made a Dragon Ball style world yet.
They have made a Dragon Ball locator though. I've seen that before.
Oh, cool. Maybe we could just turn Nexlin into Shenron.
Yes, but you won't get any wishes from me.
I'll tell you what, actually, on the note of Shenron, just going completely off workshop stuff here now, actually. I loved this in the Dragon Ball Z one where they're with that Lord Beerus and they summon the dragon, and even the dragon's scared of Lord Beerus. He's like, oh, Lord Beerus, oh my god, sort of thing. And it's just, yeah. I am the Groot.
Watched it. Well,
you should. Yeah, you should watch Battle the Battle of the Gods, I think it is. The movie that came out a while back. It's really good. Yeah, Nightmare. Good point. Actually, I do need to hydrate. My mouth is getting dry.
I am finding my water bottle now. There it is.
I drank quite a bit of water. I feel good.
I also recommend DBZ Abridged. Yeah, I've got rose flavored
All these
cider.
squares make a circle. That's the first thing that pops up in my mind whenever I hear that.
It's time for you to learn the pecking order of workshop. It goes Nexalon, Aegis, Ryuvi, then me.
Yep, that's why we got that laid out right there for the plushes like that, right?
Yeah. I didn't even notice that.
It would be very awkward and weird if I was standing right there, right? Would that just change up everything? Would that change?
Heckin order. Yeah, it's the heckin order. Right, fuck this. No.
I like this site though. I like this room. I take it back. I don't want to be in front of chat.
That was something we commented on actually at the start of the stream. As I was laying the plushies out, I've always noticed that we always stand in the same positions behind this desk.
It's like Sheldon's special seat from Big Bang Theory, you know, just don't sit in a seat.
Yeah. I always seem to position myself between the to-do list and chat. Ryuvi's usually here, then we have Aegis, and then we have Nex.
So it doesn't look like people have any questions though for ContextSubmenu. Did you guys have any questions in chat? Anything that you might want to know, learn how to do, or just any general?
I think Nightmare wants to put bees on you.
Well, then you could unlock the chat. I mean, you could.
I can't unlock this chat.
Oh really? Oh, okay, then never mind.
This is a blue chat.
Also, if anybody wanted a copy of that component search tool, I already sent a copy to Sevkin. I can absolutely give you a copy. It actually even attaches onto your dashboard as a facet, and you can search for any and all different types of components and logics. So if you ever need this and you're looking for stuff, I highly recommend this. It's saved my life many of times while working on things in here.
There's a question. Could you link a music player into your context menu? I don't know.
It would be depend on how you would implement it too. As like music player, if you have like a player that would probably be attached to your character locally,
I could show an example of that here. So like I have a context menu on mine to where I can enable my backpack, and my backpack has a video player on it. So.
Yeah, I think they were more on about actually having a video player on your context menu entirely.
Oh, I think I've.
But
I'm pretty sure
I wouldn't know
something like that too. From what I can
Why
remember.
not play around and see what you can do?
I know that somebody has had like a backdrop and it had like a scrolling image, but I don't know if it was a sprite or if it was a video. But it might have actually been
think
video.
in theory it could be done.
You could also make the audio on locally for the user that's, having the music player or video player, depending on what it is, using value user override.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Well, I think, as I say, there's not really too much else that's been said now, so I think we'll hit off the end of the workshop here now. Do we know what we're doing for the next workshop, Aegis?
Not exactly. There's multiple different topics we could cover. Like
so does that mean
UAX to logics to avatar setup to...
Is there going to be a workshop next week then, or is it the week after?
The week after.
The week after, okay.
You would need time to... Yeah. Also, to reminder, another thing to help us get good topics to cover what we want to help the community with is the feedback form. If you have ideas, just label like your feedback as Workshop Wednesday, and we can look through and say that, oh, people want to cover, say, UIX or logics or like world permissions or such.
So yeah, basically the workshop will return then on the 2nd of March. Then, is what you're saying, Aegis?
Yes.
Cool.
Very nice.
Your birthday's in March, right?
Hello,
Pardon?
Yes, my birthday is March 25th.
Ah. I'll remember that.
Oh,
But yeah, once again, I would like to say thank you to everyone who has come to watch the stream. We really appreciate it. And,
Thank you.
we hope to catch you all again on Friday, where, we've got our our standard Friday stream, and we're going to be doing something a bit interesting. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm not going to say what it is.
Wraith basically begged me to oh, Nexlin, please. We have to do this. We have to
I
do
said
this,
we need to
Nexlin,
do
please.
this again. It's something we haven't. It's a game we have not played for a long time.
Okay, Wraith.
Yeah, well, we need to get quite a few of the team in on that one.
What you need to do is you gotta fix that chopping up microphone problem. I don't know what's happening with your microphone doing that sometimes, because already Emerald's saying a lot of cutout. Yeah, your voice tends to cut out. I don't know why. Is it your microphone?
No idea. No, it's not my microphone. I'm on a mod mic, remember? I'm on a wireless mod mic.
Yeah,
so there's nothing wrong with that. And it's right in front of my face.
It just happens randomly. Like right now, you're crystal clear. Like your audio.
It could just be lag.
Probably.
Because there is a lot of network lag on my end right now, so...
yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah,
I think it's good to close down the stream. Thank you again so much, you guys.
Yep. We'll see you We'll see you in a fortnight.
See you in a fortnight.
We'll open up... Yeah. We'll open up the world now, so you can come join us. Just look for Workshop Wednesday Public.
Yes, come inside here, you guys. Hang out with us and ask any questions. And no problem, Seeker. Goodbye to y'all.
Let me go see if I can find someone to send us to.
Have a good one.